What up, everybody? It's me, Mr. Riot, here with a long overdue deck profile. This isn't really a deck profile, but this is how to from my perspective on how to build a ninja with custom points and pointers of the ninja build. I'm sure that there are other better suited people, but um, I'm doing what I can to help. So this is video for was it DN John D? I don't, whatever that stands for, but this is for you, John. Appreciate you for watching and supporting me and, you know, requesting such. So we're going to get to the points. All right. So this is my personal setup. Um, I have nothing else really. Um, so the reason I put things at 4, that is the breaking point for most things if you're not using Wing Chun. If you're using Taekwondo, you really don't need that much in your foot power, but it does help. So with Ninja, we're going to go ahead and shoot those all the way up. Your hand speed and your power are going to be key here. Protecting your joints is a must here. So 4 there. And these next 4 points, I would probably put a few here into defense, reflexes, and maybe in attack time or starting chi or counter block length for ninja is abysmal. You get like, I don't know, 3 or 4 arrows and that's a wrap. So but with your bone strength and your reflexes, mainly your reflexes, you get that just enough time to got it, because this is it's a last moment counter. It is one of the worst countering disciplines in the game. But it does, have really, like, you can see the attacks coming. So but yeah, it'll be somewhere along these lines here. I'll get back to that later. All right, so with the deck itself, play to your pros. Fast hands and, that trigger of the 50% cheat card. The free attack retry just in case if, you don't get any 50% trigger. So vulnerable to joint and bone attacks. Though that, again, that's why you put your points there, just because, again, a shoulder, an elbow, or a wrist goes out, that one side or both sides, you're pretty much done. You might as well just go ahead and let the other guy hit you or girl hit you or whatever the case is and lose, because, unless you have feet attacks, So it's not a bad idea. For countering, I cannot stress this enough. Realize what you start at. Ninja starts at 4 adrenaline, so there's no necessary need to put in 1s and 2s adrenaline cards in your deck. They just clog things up. So I would go I would, highly go for where we at here. I would definitely go for chi freezes, at least 1. Chi freezes, that saves you time. Chi stealing, because you don't get much chi, if any chi at all, from your attacks. There's no necessary need to drain, because that person could, be just as good at boosting their chi as you are. So stealing their chi is great. If you're going for a dim mock build, then concentrate on a particular body part or area, like the jugular. So when you counter, you can, spring off, a dim mock there. It's only 5, but that's 5 turns, and it's not that much. But if you're dim mocking the jugular with a regular attack and it gets through, it's going to be very sufficient at 40 a turn or more. And being that you chief rose them for a turn, they're going to suffer a lot, and it's going to suck for them. Um, I don't really you don't really need power drains and all that. That's just to sap your you know. So I would probably go with getting elbow. What else? We got shoulder. Oh, a shoulder would definitely help here. Getting the shoulders is key to stop them from attacking your shoulders with their hands. Should that happen with counters, um, wrists, same thing. Um, Even though it is very abysmal with this one power, it does help to get those ankles under control. Because if you're fighting, the worst matchup for ninja is taekwondo, simply because the kicks, if the points are built right, one kick to the shoulder would dislocate it, and you're rendered useless to that one side. One kick, period. Um, I haven't met one person that hasn't met uh, you know, uh, high, maxed out speed and power, um, taekwondo, and lived through it, just because it's one of the most powerful of the disciplines. So definitely getting those ankles under control. Now, again, you build your counter deck around what you're primarily going after. Be it, I would definitely, I got a lot of spine stuff. So I got a lot of central spines and upper spines and lower spines, but I would go with central spine because there's a lot more central spine than there is anything else. If you wanted to go jugular, which is a very great thing because they're all countering at your minimum level of 4, and they're all relatively strong. And again, if you're building around the jugular, try to separate your attacks so they're not all going into one direction. And I don't mean the boy band group. All right. So with that knowledge, we're going to play off the triggering system for ninja, and we're going to if you need the adrenaline boost, you don't necessarily need to put in the 4s and the 8s and everything, but it could, push you into that next tier for your jugular or high cost or high adrenaline attacks, because you only get so much adrenaline per um, per turn with ninja. If you don't attack, you get no adrenaline. That's as simple as that. So timer, that is something I will put in there. So the way I build my decks is about 15 to 17 chi cards, and the rest are different attacks. So with this, you're starting at 4 adrenaline, so you don't need, 1s and 2s in your deck. So timer for 6 or 8 or anything that you can get. You don't need perfects unless you're just, like that. Timers, simply because the timer for ninja is very short. You will get off 3 attacks and that's it. So every time you use a chi card, you get back a couple of, like a second or two. That's it. Another one I would highly recommend is the chi boost. If you start triggering off these chi boosts, you're going to be pushing, between 90 with these. It was at 120. So, and then you start triggering, and then, hey, you got, 300, 400, and so on in one turn. I've once seen like 600 and something odd in one turn, and that was a long time ago. I would recommend getting at least one cleanse dim mock, just in case if somebody slips through a dim mock and it could be fatal. If not, these short block lines are essential because you're moving so fast as it is. if you're doing the dim mock build and all your attacks are dim mocks, then short block line is going to be your closest ally. Cheese shakes with short block line, even better. Um, a few no counters wouldn't hurt, like, for two, because you're again going to be, just, pew pew, poking at your opponent. Feints, I haven't really found a use for them. Block fogs are great, um, because you're already moving fast. If you start putting in speed, short block line, and block fog together, it's going to make for a very devastating turn for your opponent. Um, if they have no defenses in their bones or whatever, I once got KO'd by somebody punching. It was a slow punch at that, punching me, in my center spine. And like it took two hits, and that was a wrap. I was like, oh, well then. So this is where I lose all respect for any ninja user, is when these damn iron shirts start getting put on and you start triggering. You can trigger this 5 times and you will never have to worry about getting hit again. So you start triggering these off. You put these in and you're pretty much guaranteed to win, simply because of the trigger system and the chi boost that you got to actually get these off. This is why I don't like it. um, you don't need power drains or speed drains like that. They can help for a bit of control, but I don't find them necessary. You can add in some adrenaline drains to stall your opponent. I wouldn't chi drain them, because sometimes you're gonna need to steal or freeze or whatever the case is, and it's better to steal something from somebody who has a lot of chi to steal. Now, chi freeze is devastating. Definitely, if you can, put at least one of these in here. There's no need to put this one in here, simply because it's such a high cost for something that may not hit. So I would stick between the 2 and 1. This one is better, and because it's speed of 11. Again, dim mock builds. If you want to go, you really want to go with something with a defense line that is awkward to counter, awkwardly seen. This one, not necessarily, but it again, it depends on what you're going after. With my success, I found that this one with the brain, because it's 35 and 3 turns are dead. Where's the jugular one I was just looking at? It was the brain, the lung, strange enough, the lungs. This one, with the weird curve there, and yeah, really just like any of the 35s. The 20, if you add in the double strike here and the short block line, chi shake, basically it's a big setup to let off 1 or 2 attacks, so that way you're not countered to getting your stuff broken up. Speed boosts, was that chi rechant? Another reason why ninja is the chi rechannel. You start triggering this, and then you can start getting more chi boosts and more this, that, and the other. I wouldn't worry about power, but speed is definitely a thing. My main deck ratio is between 15 to 17 chi channel cards, and the rest are attacks. As you can see, the kicks are abysmal, but they do help a bit. One I would definitely put in is the shoulder joint here. Uh, it's one of the hardest ones to counter, but you know, when it's countered, it's countered. You really can't do nothing about that. Um, let's see. Again, go to what you want to build around. Try to mix your attacks up because the jugular is one of the easiest ones to build around. Um, Try to look for attacks with cyclone or scorpion. Uh, where's the other one here? Wicked scorpion. Was it the hawk? Screaming hawk. There we go. The screaming hawk. Um, yeah, it's again how you want scything is another one. So um, even though it's a one, it's relatively. Those are the fastest ones. The cobras, scythes, and all that other stuff that I said before. So okay, well, I hope that this guide helps you, John, and anybody else trying to go after the ninja build. Um, it was such a disrespectful deck. If you build it right, it could be a filthy deck to play. Again, a hard counter to ninja is taekwondo. A second to that would be Wing Chun, and a third is Shotokan Karate. Um, a heavy hitter with this is against um, Muay Thai and definitely the Marine because those two, everything's going by so fast. Like even if you have max defense reflexes, so you can easily beat those types of decks if you mix up your attacks. Comment, like, subscribe. Any questions or comments, leave in the comment section. Or if you would like to see any more of martial arts brutality by deck requests or, just plays in general, let me know.